President Biden's recent announcement about canceling thousands of dollars of debt for many borrowers has sparked a national debate about the cost of attending college and making a living. A few days after the August announcement, a senior advisor to Senator Bernie Sanders posted a now viral tweet that tried to hit back at people who think students should simply work harder to pay for college. In the tweet, Warren Gunnels compares the cost of living in 1973 to 2022 in 4 categories: wages, home prices, rent, and tuition at the University of California. The argument being made here is clear. While wages have decreased, the cost of living and going to school has skyrocketed. The tweet has gone viral, with almost 60,000 retweets and 234,000 likes, meaning it's reached a lot of people. But is this data telling an accurate story? Time to find out. Is this legit? Hey guys, it's Bella and welcome back to Is This Legit, a YouTube series brought to you by MediaWise and PBS Student Reporting Labs. Here we debunk viral misinformation online while also teaching you some easy fact-checking tips. So let's take a closer look at Gunnels' initial tweet. First, the tweet doesn't provide any sources at all, which is a red flag. And if you scroll down, you can see the commenters begin demanding for some proof, which prompted Gunnels to post a second tweet, this time with links. The sources are pretty legit, including the official University of California website and US Census Bureau, among other credible websites. However, I'm going to check it out for myself. A great media literacy tip is having a healthy dose of skepticism when dealing with claims on the internet that involve a lot of numbers. Remember, just because data is involved doesn't mean it's always accurate. After some close inspection, it does seem like there's one big issue, and the comment section figured it out too. The main problem is with the wages. Reading upstream, which means going to the original source the tweet references, I discovered that the wage data comes from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. However, the tweet actually shows weekly pay that has been adjusted for inflation. Basically, inflation is when prices increase over time, and in the US, prices have increased a lot since the 70s. Have you ever had your parent or grandparent talk to you about the price of a movie or a burger back in their day? But just because a movie may have cost $1 doesn't mean it was actually cheaper. We've just experienced inflation. So when you compare prices of, say, college or rent now to their cost in the 70s, you'd have to adjust for inflation. The price change I explained a little bit earlier. That was a lot. But just remember this. If you don't adjust for inflation and compare the cost of a burger now versus the 70s, you're comparing apples to oranges. Or I guess burgers to wings. I don't know, something like that. Back to the tweet. After reading upstream, we found that while average pay was adjusted for inflation, nothing else in Gunnels' tweet was. That means the cost of a house or college will seem way cheaper in the 70s compared to today, and weekly wages will seem higher than they are now. In fact, the average weekly wage in 1973, without adjusting for inflation, is around $130, 8 times smaller than the tweet claims. This means wages have steadily climbed, not fallen, for the past 50 years. Later, Gunnels posted a third tweet, but there are some problems here as well. He gets rid of the rent category entirely, and although he adjusts the home prices and tuition for inflation, he now uses only minimum wage. That's a lot different than his first tweet, which talked about average wages. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 1.6 million workers, or just 1.9% of all workers, earned wages at or below the federal minimum wage in 2019. So, while it's true that college tuition and home prices have exploded, the data in Gunnels' tweet is misrepresented. While this may or may not have been intentional, the message is clouded. Even worse, anyone who retweeted the original or didn't follow along with the comments probably has no idea that some of the data is distorted. This is all to say that sometimes numbers can lie. If someone uses numbers but doesn't cite their sources, the figures might be totally false. Or if someone uses numbers but doesn't provide the full context, they might be comparing apples to oranges, which is exactly what is happening here. So, we're gonna rate this claim as not legit. To debunk this claim, we practice some quick media literacy tips, such as having a healthy dose of skepticism, especially when numbers are involved, and reading upstream, going back to the original source. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye! And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to MediaWise so you don't miss any of our future fact checks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!
Don't compromise.